Can you hear me? Ali Oxenfree, can you hear me? Um, I would like you all to practice unmuting yourself and speaking aloud so you can get my attention. Because this is how you're gonna get my attention as while I present. Okay. And like when you do come online, just introduce yourself with just your last name. Say, hey, this is Miss So and So. Um, you know, and we'll kind of proceed in that fashion. So I have that class starts in about 10 minutes. Okay. Are you able to like unmute yourself and speak? Let me see. Because I think I gave you permission this time. Yeah, there it is. We got one person.
Hi, my name is Larry Kinchin.
Just your last name? Just Kinchin?
Yeah.
Miss Kinchin, okay. All right. Are you all logged into my live stream on YouTube as well?
I'm not. How do I?
Okay, I'll load the link. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go here. How are y'all doing today? Good. I'm well. Can't complain. I don't know that it would do any good if I did anyway. All right. So here. Did y'all have any questions from the homework? Were y'all able to get full access to Pearson to do the homework? Oh, I forgot to tell you. It's best to, for right now, it's probably best to listen on Collaborate, okay? And maybe go ahead and pull a copy of the lecture slides from Moodle. You probably have to go into the box link. I probably have to hop over to Moodle. Let me see how easy it is for you guys to get there. So to access the notes, you want to go to our Moodle page, click on the box link. It says box for file sharing and daily notes. And you want to open up that link and you want to pull up section 1.6. That's the first one we're going to do first. Okay. But yeah, I think it's best to listen or collaborate because that way when I ask questions, we can go back and forth and we can be live. And you just want to follow along listening because I am going to be writing. And so I don't know if you can do a split screen or not, but for audio, to be current on the audio, you want to listen to Collaborate. The only thing that will make Collaborate better is if I could share my screen. If I could share my screen, I'll be right back. Okay, what time is it? We got like 5 minutes. So when we hit 10 o'clock, I think it's best that everyone. I think I can load a copy of the PowerPoint. Let me at least go ahead and do that while we wait. So yeah, let's go here. Share a file.
Okay, so all homework assignments are coming from the textbook.
No, we're gonna do them on Pearson. Pearson is that way you can get instant feedback. You can instantly see your grade. You get unlimited attempts, and the simple thing is just to do it on Pearson. If Pearson seems like it's too much, which it is not, Pearson is only intense to set it up. But once you set it up, it's really not that bad. But I got to turn down the audio. It's so distracting. The simple thing is just to do the work on Pearson, and that way, and I'll just take the grades from Pearson and load it into Moodle. Pearson is a simple way, in my opinion.
Okay, is Pearson an app or how do we access it?
Oh, okay. So to access Pearson, in the syllabus, I guess I can load. I can load that page. I'll pull up that page just now. One moment. So, let's go here. Because there are actually instructions in the syllabus, but I'll go ahead and load a copy of it right now.
Okay, yeah. I actually want to talk to you. I guess actually because I don't know how to do that.
Probably best is just to call me during my office hours. I don't stop teaching today until about 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah, but best is tomorrow. Call me tomorrow during my office hours. My office hours
Okay.
are give me one moment. Registration instructions. Can I just like copy, print, share, and I just want to copy this, and then I'll paste it right here. Oh, will that work? Let me try this. If this don't work, I gotta work around. No, that's not working. Can I just paste the file? I gotta save it somewhere. Copy the box. Support for College Algebra. I just put it next to the syllabus. Hello, hello. Okay. Come on. Support 108.489, 108.489. All right. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So, I feel like that might be kind of loud. Let me just turn it down. Hello. Okay. Sorry. Just trying to get my audios right. So, and I'm going to turn this down because that's totally distracting. Okay. So this is how we're going to do this. Hopefully everybody right now. Oh, and let me go ahead and load instructions for Pearson. I got knocked off last time. So I'm going to go share this file. Let me add a file. Browse. It is right here. The registration. Okay. All right. So if you are on my live YouTube and you're one of my current students for support for college algebra, let's hop over to Collaborate, and we want to start our sessions there. So I usually have the live streaming on YouTube. I just have that available, but I think it's best that we do our operations from Collaborate. That way it's not a delay. If you're watching from YouTube, there's going to be like almost a minute delay. All right. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do, I do have that it is that time. So hopefully you all can see me okay. Feel free to unmute yourself and just to make your presence known. Whenever you do come online, just introduce yourself with your last name. So only say your last name. Just say, hey, this is Miss So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, and then proceed with your question. I'm going to actually mute YouTube for a moment and take attendance. And then once I've taken it, so when I call your name, I need you to, looks like your connection is poor. Others will see. Okay, well. So when you hear your name, just unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and mute YouTube, but when you hear your name, unmute yourself and say present, so that I know that you're here and you're able to get your audio working. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so we are back on YouTube. So again, the YouTube has a little bit of a delay. So if you want to be current, like with the questions and things of that nature, if you're one of my current students, you want to listen on and collaborate. Otherwise, you could watch solely on YouTube, but you'll be behind by like a minute, and it will throw things off a bit. Let me think about it. Okay, so let's just kind of hop over to the lecture for today. So hello, I'm Mr. Pfeiffer, and we're going to continue with. First of all, okay, so I think this is the first time we've had this many students in attendance. So it is a good idea to go ahead and you can get in on a live chat. I'm also monitoring the live chat that's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn your notifications on. So whatever you see streaming live on YouTube, all of YouTube will be recorded. So this will be recorded, and it'll be there. And then also anything that you see me writing on the screen, I'm going to make the PDF available for you to access at your convenience. Okay. So stop me if you have any questions. If you don't stop me, I probably will just keep going. I have that the time is right at about 10:09, and I'm under the impression that we get out. Let me see, it's about 11:50. Let me see. Okay, so if there aren't any questions, some other key points. So we are starting out week 2. Can I get let's get 2 people to just say, hey, this is Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, and just tell me how you're doing. Like, how did your weekend go? How you feeling? Can I just get 2 students to kind of, give me an update on how you feel?
Hey, it's Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
I'm feeling great.
You feeling?
My weekend went well. I didn't really do nothing, but it went all right.
That's what's up. All right, and one more. Oh, I'm gonna have to volunteer somebody.
Good morning. This is Miss Salazar. My weekend went well. I'm just staying quarantined.
Okay. Are you all exercising at all? Like, are you playing and jumping at all? Sweating? Anybody?
Not really.
No. It helps. If you can, play, run, jump, something where you get your heart pumping for like at least 30 minutes a day and try to eat a certain kind of way, it helps to manage all of this stuff. Okay. So I can't think of anything else. Oh yes. So this is the beginning of week 2. If you know somebody else that's in the class that's not in the live session right now, it's probably a good idea. It's a couple of things. One, is probably a good idea to have a group meet going where you all are just in high communication. So I'm gonna let y'all work that out amongst yourselves. Secondly, if you know somebody's missing and you're able to contact them, it's probably a good idea to say, hey, we are live. We meet live every day, and encourage them to check in and make sure everything is being submitted. So other key points. You should be able to, there's an access code to get full access to Pearson. It's available in our announcements on Moodle. So if you go over to Moodle, and I've sent out a couple of announcements, we should have enough, the access code can be used enough times for however many students we have in the class, right? So there should be enough for everybody to get at least one. If you're having trouble getting full access to Pearson, just let me know. And then on Pearson, you really just want to complete all of those assignments. So, we're going to continue with chapter 1 this week. Let's go ahead and be ready for exam 1 at the end of this week over chapter 1, right? I think that's 1.3 to 1.8. Okay, so exam 1 at the end of this week over 1.3 to 1.8. We're going to start with 1.6 today. And the exam is going to be on Pearson as well. There are some assignments that were due this past Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You can still access them, but the most you can earn on any question submitted after the deadline is like 80%, all right? It's still a good idea to go ahead and get those submitted and get credit for it. And I went on and loaded some assignments for this week, but any given week, assignments are due Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. Are there any questions about that? You guys have any questions? So again, at the end of this week, we have exam 1 over chapter 1 is going to be on Pearson. We have any assignments, any work assigned during the week, again, is due every Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You can work on them after the deadline for at most 80% credit. And then what I plan on doing is taking whatever grade I see in Pearson and just loading it into your Moodle. But honestly, anything that's there, it's shy of the exams, but anything else, you honestly get pretty much unlimited attempts at them and things of that nature. I can't think of anything else. So stop me if you have any questions or anything of that nature. Okay. So, and so hopefully you have your audio playing from Collaborate and you're able to do a separate screen where you can actually see my YouTube channel. Okay, so if there aren't any questions, I'm going to move forward. We're going to continue with chapter 1. And I guess I can turn like this, so I'm at least facing the camera. How do y'all like my art? You see the art in the background? That's artwork that I did at a paint and sip. A couple of them. I got some more around, but it's just some art, just something interesting. Okay, so anyway, so let's see. So chapter 1, real numbers. Make sure the audio is working. It looks good. Yeah, it sounds good. Okay. So chapter 1, real numbers. If we keep going. So we have 1.6 addition of real numbers. Let me see. So objectives. We want to add real numbers using a number line, add fractions, identify opposites, and add using absolute values. Okay. Please no solution. I think those are the answers. Let's kind of start like this. So this example asks us to evaluate 3 plus negative 4. And let's get this out of the way. Let's go like this. Evaluate 3 plus negative 4 using a number line. Can somebody in their own words explain to me, if we were to add 3 plus negative 4, what do you think is going to happen on a number line? How would that work? So again, this is why it's important to have the audio on Collaborate, so there's not a delay. Okay, so one of the things with mathematics, whoever does the most talking does the most learning. If I'm doing all the talking, I'm doing all the learning. The more you talk, the more you engage. This experience with mathematics is very active. It's not passive at all. If you're very passive, you might have a bit of a hard. You typically will have a harder time. It is encouraged that we be active, because whoever is doing it is the one that's learning. So if I'm doing it, I'm learning, but you have to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to move forward. It would be better if I can get some back and forth. The whole goal is to get it back and forth. So if we're on the number line and it says evaluate 3 plus negative 4 using a number line, it says always begin with 0, right? So it's really straightforward. Say we're on a number line. That's the positive x. Say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so on. Negative 1, negative 2, so on and so on, negative 3. If it's saying 3 plus negative 4, oh, I think we have this. We can start here. So if we start at 0, if we're doing a 3, so then we go to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Plus a negative 4. If it's negative, we're going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then 3 plus negative 4 is going to be negative 1. Are there any questions there? And these questions are not rhetorical. Like, I need you to unmute yourself and respond.
Nah, yeah. There ain't no questions.
All right, that's what I need. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Okay. I think this is okay. I'm going to let that be. So if we look at the bottom of the screen, it says evaluate negative 3 plus negative 2. Can someone walk me through how would we use a number line to do that one? If we have negative 3 plus negative 2, what are we going to do?
You said negative 3 plus 2?
Plus negative 2.
Oh, that's negative 5.
How did you get that on our number line? Where do you start?
You start at negative 3, then go over 2 to the left.
To the left. How did you know that was negative 5 off the rip like that?
Because 2 negatives still a negative.
Okay. Is that how you learned it? Because I know everybody has different ways of learning that. But okay, we'll let that be, right? So a negative plus a negative stays negative. I don't know a better way to articulate that one just yet. So because both are negative, it stays negative. That was actually good. Let's try another one. Okay, is this just an example? Thank you. So can I get a volunteer to read this one? This is example 5. It says below 0 temperatures. Can I get someone to read this one?
I think mine delayed. I can't even see it.
Yeah, the YouTube will be delayed, so that's why I made the PowerPoint available. But
yeah, mine's delayed too.
Yeah, it will be. So was
I
probably
got you.
was probably
Say, below zero temperatures at the beginning of the 5 o'clock news broadcast on the winter day in Rochester, Minnesota. The chief meteorologist, Alex Martin, reported that the temperature was 3 degrees below Fahrenheit. During the weather segment, 20 minutes later, Alex stated that the temperature had dropped 4 degrees since the beginning of the news broadcast, determined the temperature at 5:20 p.m.
That was actually pretty good. Let me do that one more time. Let me see. At the beginning of 5 o'clock news broadcast on a winter day, the temperature was 3 degrees below zero. Okay, I see it. And then during the weather segment, 20 minutes later, 5 o'clock, temperature had dropped 4 degrees. Okay, so it was 3 below and then 4 more. Okay. So then what's the temperature at 5:20? What's going to happen there? Pretty straightforward, right? Negative 3 plus negative 4 is going to be negative 7. Are there any questions before I go forward?
No.
And don't let me go because I will just kind of power through, you know? All right. Ooh. Okay. I'm trying to think how I want to do this one. Anybody working on an iPad that wants to write? No?
No, I'm on my computer.
Okay. Can somebody just audibly walk me through how would we solve something this? Can you see this? So we have 7 divided by 16 plus a negative 2/3. Let me actually get a copy of this. So I'm gonna get a copy, and we do have a way for you to write, but it's still very bulky, and like it is kind of weird. So I'm gonna write this one, but if you can like just walk me through what to write, that would be awesome. Let's see, because this one's a little bit tricky. Hang on, I'm coming. Come on. Right there, like this, boom. Okay. So this is example 6. And let's get our paper going. Paper, grant paper. Okay. So we have this set. That's not gonna work. It should work. I don't know why it's something like that. 7 by 16 plus a negative 2 by 3. All right. Can someone walk me through how we would add these two fractions? I think we did fractions last. Go ahead. This is Mr.
Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. I bet you get that a lot, huh? Do you? No?
I get that a lot.
Okay, I would imagine so. I always think of that whenever I hear Anderson. Can you walk me through this? We do have a Blackboard. I'm sorry. I'm responding to a live chat. We do have a Blackboard, but I don't know. It's just kind of bulky. We'll try it out a little bit later. We will. Go ahead, Mr. Anderson. I'm sorry about that.
Don't you gotta take the greatest common factor or something?
Least common what?
Least common factor.
Least common, not factor, but how do we add fractions? We got to get a common denominator, right? So we've already converted this thing so that we're adding something plus something else. So that's the first thing. We wanted to get it all to a plus. What's the common denominator? What's the least common denominator? So let's do this. Let's start with the 16, right? The 16 here. First question we want to ask ourselves is 16 a multiple of 3, yes or no?
Yeah.
No, right? 16 is not a multiple, right? That's okay. So then what's 16 times 2?
32.
Is 32 a multiple of 3?
No.
It's 48.
So then 32, 42, 48 sounds good, right? I think the way we did it last time was something like the following. So I think we take 16, right? And then we expand it all the way out. Now what times what is 16?
Huh?
So how to find
8
2
times 3 is 6.
What times what is 16?
8 times 2.
Okay.
Oh, I meant 2.
You good. 2 times 8. But then the 8 is what times what?
4 times 2.
Okay, 4 times 2. But then the 4 is what times what?
2 times 2.
Okay, come on. So then we have 2 times 2. So 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Let me go like this one, right? So 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. This way. Okay. So that's a 16 expanded. 3 is just going to be 3. Least common multiple. Sorry. I'm thinking of something else. Just ignore this for right now. I was trying to do it the way we did it last time. We're gonna scrap this, but what did we get? The 48? We said 48? Is that what we said earlier?
Yeah.
So the 48 is fine, right? Yeah, that's fine. So now, 16 times what gives us 48? 3. So we're gonna multiply by 1 in the form of 3 over 3, right? And the other one, we're gonna multiply by what? What over what?
You said, huh?
So to get a common denominator, we're going to multiply each fraction by 1 in the appropriate form. So the one on the left, we're multiplying by 1 in the form of 3 divided by 3. Is it safe to say that 3 divided by 3 is 1?
Yes.
Is it safe to say that 1 times anything is itself?
Yes.
All right. So then now when we multiply by 3 over 3, on the left, we're going to get what? 21 divided by 48, right?
Correct.
Right.
And then tell me about the one on the right. We multiply by 1 in what form? So the denominator becomes 48.
You got to go by 16, don't you?
Yeah, 16, right? So we're going to multiply by 1 in the form of 16 over 16. Is this okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what's a negative 2 times 16?
Negative 2 times 16 is negative 38.
No,
not 38. Negative 32.
32 sounds good. Okay, so then negative 32. And then I think the bottom stays as the 48 that we wanted, right? 30 plus 18, right? So now at this point, our fractions have a common denominator. So once we have a common denominator, how do we add fractions?
You just add a straight across, don't you?
Yeah, you just add the tops, right? Just add the numerators. So if we say 21 plus a negative 32, can you tell me what the top is going to be?
11.
I heard 11. 31, 32.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 11, 48. Okay. We're almost there. Let me see. Yeah, no common multiples or anything. Nothing that's going to cancel, right?
Right.
This okay? So we're going to go with this answer, right? We got 11 over 48. Now keep in mind, all the stuff that you see me writing, I'll load a PDF so that you get a copy of it once we're done. And just stop me if anything is not clear. Let's move forward. So we got a negative 11 over 48. And you see it there. Okay, that was good. Yeah, so that's why I was like, it's a little bit weird at first, but then, once we kind of get there, you'll kind of see the rhythm and the flow. It's in Moodle, right? Oh, Collaborate is on Moodle. Yeah, you have to go to Moodle for Collaborate. Okay, let's go on to the next question. So let's see. Can I get a volunteer to read this slide? Oh, it's opposites or additive inverses slide. You guys there? Hello?
Yeah.
Can I get someone to read this slide for me?
Any two numbers whose sum is 0 are said to be opposites or additive inverses of each other. In general, if we let A represent of any number, then it is opposite negative A and A positive plus negative A equals 0.
Right, yeah. So this is about opposites or additive inverses. So any two numbers whose sum is 0 is said to be opposites or additive inverses of each other. In general, if we let A represent any real number, then its opposite is going to be negative A. And then if we say A plus negative A, they're going to add up to 0. So additive inverses are two numbers that add up to give us 0. Basically, a number plus its opposite. Okay, that was really good. I don't want to see those answers. Okay, we can actually just discuss this one. So this one asks us to do determine the opposite of each number. So what's the opposite of 7?
-7.
-7, right? Okay. What is the opposite of -9?
9.
9, right? Just the opposite. This is good. What's the opposite of -3/10?
+3/10.
Right, we're just flipping the signs, right? We're just flipping the signs, right? If we have 0.006, what's the opposite of 0.006?
-0.006.
Negative. Okay. So when we mean opposites, are there any questions on what we mean by opposites in this context? So these are called additive inverses. A number plus its opposite to add up to 0. So all these ideas that we're talking about, these are like the foundational. Oh, let's go back like this. These are the foundational techniques that we pretty much use, and like it'll become second nature. Like you won't even think about it. You might not even be thinking about it right now. Hopefully, I only see week 1 collaborate. It should be a week 2. 10:30. Let me check real quick. Let's not do that. Let's go like this. Let's go here. Let's see. It should be there because we're in here. Attendance. Let's go here. I don't know. I'm gonna just have to let that be. We're gonna have to. Cahoon. He might need to scroll down or refresh. Course home. Yeah. That doesn't work because I'm moving. Let me see. I just want to get this to load to see if it's visible. It's just my computer's moving slow. And I'm about to not worry about it. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. See, no, too much valuable time. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Oh, let's go here. Okay, so yeah, so by opposite, it's just the additive inverse. When we say opposite, we're essentially talking about additive inverses, and it's basically just flip the sign, all right? Okay, I'm going to move forward. So then for adding real numbers with the same sign, okay, so this is what we actually did earlier. When we add real numbers with the same sign, just add the absolute values. So like if we said 2 plus 4, we got 6. If we said -3 plus -7, we got -10. So as long as they have the same sign, just add their absolute values. Okay? So for instance, if we say -6 plus -10, what's that answer going to be? So we just, since they have the same sign, we just add their absolute value and keep the sign of the original. So this answer is going to be what? -15. All right. Okay, I'm going to let that be. So then that was adding two numbers of the same sign, and then we want to look at adding two numbers of different signs. So to add two numbers of different signs, one positive and one negative, subtract the smaller from the larger, and then the answer has the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. Right? So when they have different signs, you just say the larger minus the smaller and take the sign of the larger number. If this seems, is this okay with everyone? If this seems roundabout, you could always like put it on a number line, and the number line will help to kind of keep track of what's going on. So this discussion that we're having right now is actually coming out of the number line discussion. So for instance, if we say 17 plus -8, right? What are we going to do with those two numbers? Are we going to essentially add these numbers or subtract these numbers from each other? So it is best to kind of listen or collaborate too. You don't want to, because trying to watch live on YouTube, then we can't go back and forth. But that's okay. So since these have opposite signs, we're going to subtract them. So we're going to say 17 minus 8, which is what, 9? And then the larger number is positive, so the final answer is going to be positive 9. So suppose that's a bit much. You could always look at it on a number line, right? If we look at the number line, I don't know why we get so sleepy. I'm like so sleepy now. So say this was like 0. I'm going to go 10. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right? So then if we say plus 17, so then we go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 17 is here in the middle. And then if we say plus a negative 8, since they have opposite signs, we're going to go to the left by 8. So here's, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8 are right here, which is positive 9. And you see that answer here. Okay. So silence, I'm going to assume that you have it, and I'm going to keep moving. Okay. And what time is it? 10:30. Okay, 30 minutes. I think we're okay. All right. So let me see. We're almost done with this section. So if we have negative 71 plus 38, notice that they have opposite signs. So we're going to subtract these numbers. Can somebody walk me through this one? Just what we're going to do? Okay, so since they have opposite signs, we're going to subtract. 71 minus 38 is going to be 33, and then we take the sign of the larger number. Okay, so I'm going to let that be. Oh, I didn't want to see the answer. Let's kind of go here. What's the time? Let's see. Can I get someone to read this one? Oh, is it not working? Okay, so somehow the audio got knocked off. Let me go back and put it back on. I see the no, maybe. Let me go back and check. Let's go like this. Like this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Oh no. Yeah, collaborate. I don't know why it behaves that way. Let me just close it out. Let me close this out. All of this is like moving super slow. Okay, so I got half a mind instead of collaborate, because collaborate just seems like it's giving me a hard time. All right, so I'm gonna shift real quick. I'm gonna try something else. Let's do this because I feel like collaborate's just not working. Oh, I need to create an account. I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, give me a moment. I'll be right back. So I'm gonna just collaborate keeps locking out, and then this is slowing down. Let's go to GMC. So instead of collaborate, what I'm going to do, I'll go to Zoom. I don't think we have that many people. Shouldn't be an issue. So I'm gonna make a I'm gonna try something else. Just give me a moment. I am coming. I will be right there. Hang on. Okay, so now let's go like this. No, not that one. Let's sign out. New meeting. Okay, so if you are on YouTube, I'm about to send the class a Zoom invite. I'm just going to try that instead. Because Collaborate seems like it keeps locking out. So I'm going to just send it to the announcement. Instead of Collaborate, I'm going to do Zoom. Add a new topic. I'm going to say Zoom invite for today's live lecture. And let me just paste that there. And I need to go to advanced. No editing layer. Okay. So if you are on YouTube, in a few minutes, just check your GMC email and accept the Zoom invite, and I'll just I'm gonna have that going. So that should work. I don't see why I wouldn't. In the meantime, I'll just hop back over and kind of keep going with the lecture. Okay. So let's go back here. Oh. What's the time? Okay, so we're gonna let that be. We did that. I think we did all that. I'm gonna have to leave this one as an exercise. I'm gonna just leave this as an exercise, okay? So let me go ahead and load a copy of this one, and I'll go ahead and pull up 1.7. Okay, so let me go ahead and load 1.7, which is here. Okay, so this is section, oh, did I load it already? Maybe not. This is 1.7, subtraction of real numbers. Subtracting real numbers. This is support for College Algebra 20 spring. Okay. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties today. Like, I don't know, Collaborate, I mean, it kind of works, but not really. Not gonna worry about that. So let's go ahead and hop back over here. Okay. So I went on and loaded a Zoom link. I'm just gonna let that be. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with the lecture. Okay. So continue, let me see the time. We got about an hour. So I'm gonna continue with chapter 1, moving into 1/7, subtracting real numbers. Okay. So let's look at it. To subtract real numbers, and I guess I can go ahead and make it available here. Oh, I see who's there. Oh, and then let's go here to settings. Yeah, that stuff is working. Okay, so, and let me go ahead and load it here as well. I went on and created a Zoom session. I feel like maybe that might be a little bit more stable. So, just for the audio, really. I might be able to share my screen with Zoom as well. So that might be the solution to collaborate, but we'll straighten that out later. But I'll just kind of keep streaming, and I'm gonna go back here. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Okay, so moving into 1/7, subtraction of real numbers. Okay, so objectives here are to subtract numbers mentally, and evaluate expressions containing more than two numbers. So to subtract real numbers in general, if a and b represent any two real numbers, a minus b is the same as a plus negative b. Okay, let's go here. Let me see if I go like this. There it is. Okay, not that one. And this one. Okay, sorry about that. So if we say a minus b, that's the same as a plus negative b. Okay. So for example, we're asked to evaluate 11 minus, I don't know why it's written that way, but 11 minus 6, right? So we can rewrite this as, if it's 11 minus 6, we can rewrite it as 11 plus negative 6. Okay. Let me see. To accomplish this, we add the opposite of 6, which is negative 6. Okay, I see it. All right. So we evaluate this using the procedure. This is fine. Let's try another one. So if we have 7 minus 13, right? So we have to rewrite this. So 7 minus 13 is the same as 7 plus negative 13, right? So some people use a plus slide technique, I think is what they call it. But the negative basically goes with the 13, and then you rewrite it as addition. So then if we said 7 plus 13, 13 minus 7 is what, 6? And the larger number is negative, so this is negative. So this should be a result. Okay. Let's try another one. If we have negative 5 minus 17, this is the same as negative 5. And let me go back here and check the chat. Yeah. So I went on and created a Zoom session. I sent a link to the group. If you miss it, it's okay. I just think collaborate. It just seems like it keeps losing the audio and it's not really strong or stable or whatever. But I'm not gonna worry about it. So if we have negative 5 minus 17, we can rewrite this as negative 5 plus a negative 17, right? Notice they have the same sign, so we just add them. That's going to be what, 22. Okay. Sorry about that. So if we say 5 minus a negative 3, we have to rewrite it as addition. So this is the same as 5 plus the opposite of negative 3. So it's going to be 5 plus 3, which is 8. Okay. Let's try another one. If we have 3 minus negative 10, this is the same as 3 plus 10. The opposite of negative 10 is plus 10. So this one's going to be 13. So this one is the same as negative 6 plus the opposite of negative 4, which is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. And the larger one is negative. Okay. So I did go ahead and restart the collaborate session. It should be there. I also have the Zoom link available. That should be working as well. You just have to kind of pick one and do the best you can. Subtract this from this. Okay, so if it's saying subtract the negative from the positive, so it looks like it's asking us to do 4.25 minus the negative 6.481. Okay. All right. What's the time? I'm totally sleeping. All right. So if we rewrite this minus as plus, this is the same as 4.25 plus 6.481. All right. So then to add decimals, we line up the like decimals. We line up the decimal point. So basically it's the 6.481 plus the 4.25, and then I think we get what you see below. The 1 comes down. 8 and 5 is what, 13. Carry the 1, 7, and then 10. Okay. Subtract. Okay. So for this one, our first thing is, let's rewrite it as addition. So this is the same as 5 over 9 plus a negative 13 over 15. All right. Then we want to try to get a common denominator. So if we start with the 15, 15 is not a multiple of 9. So if we say 15 times 2, that'll be 30. 30 is not a multiple of 9. If we say times 3 is 45. 45 is a multiple of 9. Let's see. So we want to transform both denominators into 45. So we're going to multiply by 1 in the form of, this one's going to be 3 over 3. We get our 45. And this other one, we're going to multiply by 5 over 5. Okay. If we do this, we'll get, what is that? 25 over 45 plus 30 plus 9 is 39. 39 over 45. Sorry about it. What is that? A 5 and a 9 is 14. So this is going to be a negative 14 over 45. Okay. I'm going to have to take a break. I'm totally sleepy. All right, we did that one. Let's see. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I think I'm going to just do this. I'm going to leave that last one as an exercise. Okay. I think you can handle it. So if we have evaluate negative 9 minus 6. Oh. Why is the answer already showing? That doesn't help us. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip these because the answers are showing, so I'm gonna let those be. We'll get some practice. I'll show you how we can get some practice. The main thing is just to be logging into Pearson, making your presence known. As long as you're getting your work submitted on Pearson on time, and just keep checking in, you should be fine. Like, I wouldn't worry about the other stuff. Just get your things submitted and you'll be fine. Give me just a moment. Actually, no, we got 2 more slides. Let me finish out this. So to evaluate expressions containing more than 2 numbers, and evaluating expressions involving more than one addition and subtraction, always work from the left to the right, unless parentheses or other grouping symbols appear. Okay, let's try another one. And I think I'm going to leave these last couple in general. So a plus negative b. A plus negative b is essentially a minus b, and a minus a negative b is essentially a plus b. I know that's a little bit roundabout, and I know that gives students a hard time. You have to do the best you can. Honestly, the way you'll get it is you have to practice. Like, the more you kind of expose yourself to it, it'll become second nature, and you won't even really be thinking about it. It's really only confusing because you might be thinking about it still. Okay, so I'm going to take a break there and just step out for just a moment. I'm going to give myself maybe like 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll continue. We just did 1-7, so I'm going to at least get through 1-8. Okay. Let me go ahead and load a copy of this for you all to access, share. Let's send it a box. And I think that same folder is fine. And I'm going to just take 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, I had to take a break. I was totally like, I don't know. This topic is just like really difficult, like without having a back and forth for me, because it's just like it's almost like it's a no brainer. Like you don't have to think about it, but I do get that it's introductory and like everybody's not there. Oh, let me go like this. So I have the audio available pretty much in 3 locations to be live. You either have to be on Collaborate or click on that Zoom session that I created and use that link as well. Um, so I'll just try to have those available. So because I know the Collaborate keeps wanting to kind of like lock out. So I went on and made a Zoom account, but that's just for like my students. Otherwise, I mean, you could listen to like the YouTube, but you know that's going to be a delay. Okay, so let's kind of get back. Oh, 1-8. I thought I had done it already. Yeah, let's do this one. And multiplication and division of real numbers. Export. We're going to do a new note. This is section. Oop, that's not the right keyboard. Here it is. 1.8 multiplication and division. Multiplication and division of real numbers. This is support College Algebra. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Okay. So let's give this one a go. Let's go back. And let's import. Let's go to the page. I guess I could try that. I don't know how I did that last time. Okay. So I'll go ahead and Sorry about that. So I did just realize that I was going through some examples with the audio, so I'm just gonna go back and redo the ones that I just did. They're not too difficult, and it doesn't take long. So yeah, we'll just restart this section. It's fine. So I did just notice that I forgot to unmute myself after the break. So let's see. So moving into section 1.8. Multiplication and division of real numbers. So we're going to look at multiplying numbers, dividing numbers, removing negative signs from denominators, and evaluate divisions involving 0. So if what this slide is basically saying is that whenever they have the same sign, when we say multiply two numbers of the same sign, let me make sure the audio is working. Yeah. Oh, I just missed 11. That's okay. So yeah, when we multiply two numbers of the same sign, the final answer will be positive. When we multiply two numbers with unlike signs, the final answer is going to be negative. So then, like for instance, we have a positive times a positive, so the final answer is going to be positive. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay. So I am monitoring to the live chats. Like all the venues that I've had open, I'm still trying to keep an eye on them and make sure that like just kind of answer questions and any kind of notifications or whatever. So right here we have 5 times negative 7. So they have opposite signs. So the final answer is going to be negative. And then 5 times 7 is 35. So that should be negative 35. So here, the final answer is going to be negative. 3 times 10 is 30. Plus 9 is going to be a negative 39. Okay. So notice here in example D, double negative is positive. 9 times 11 is 99. So that one's just going to be a positive 99. So you see how quick these go. Like, I mean, we really should know our times table. It's not a lot of thought. This is really like knowing your times table, know how to add on a number line, and just kind of knowing the rules of signs, right? That's kind of how that goes. And the only way you really get it is just to practice. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of keep going. I'm gonna leave these as exercises because because of the way it's displayed, the answers are already there, so I'm not gonna worry about those right now. Now, if we look at this one. What's the time? So if we notice here, we have we have a total of 3 negatives here. So if we have an odd number of negatives, our final answer is going to be negative. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 4, 30, 60, right? So the final answer should be a negative 60. Right there. It's going to be negative 60. This one, notice that we have 1, 2, 3. We have a total of 4 negatives that we're multiplying. So if we have an even number of negatives, the final answer is going to be positive. It's kind of like double negative is positive, double negative is positive, positive times positive is positive, right? So then 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, 8 times 10 is 80, plus 16 is 96. So that should be a positive 96. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So I think when I finish this section, what I'm going to do, because I had to kind of like try to get some energy, I'm just going to be available for questions for the rest. Because like if we were in person, what I would have you do is kind of pull up Pearson and work on the assignments, and just kind of I will be available to ask questions. I would like to parallel something of that nature with at least with today. So when I finish this section, I'm just going to be available for questions. I'll go ahead and load everything, but things I'll work it that way. All right, and then we have this. So the sign the sign of the quotient of two numbers, right? The quotient of two numbers with like signs is positive. The quotient of two numbers with unlike signs is negative. Okay. So this one asks us to evaluate 32 divided by a negative 4. I'm just going to write this in the way that I'm used to seeing it. This is the same as 32 divided by 4, and we only have one negative, so that's how it's going to work. 32 divided by 4, I think, is 8, so this final answer should be negative 8. Let me see it there. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so sleepy. And it just started like all of a sudden. I've been fine. I have been up for hours, but I don't know, I was fine. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oop, don't want to do it no more. Oh, this one. We got negative 3 over 7 divided by a negative 1/2. Let's actually get some space for this one. Let's get a copy of the original. This one, right? And we don't want that 4 showing. Right. Oh yeah, we're not gonna have it showing. We'll go like that. We're gonna take this and drop it right here is fine. And let's add a page. Okay. Whew. Come on. And let's crop. All right. Let's go here to paper. Let's do some grid paper. So, to divide fractions, what we have to do is we have to use a technique called keep, change, flip. So let's do it like this. We're going to say keep, change, flip. And again, we do this. I don't know what this is. I got my, I don't know. It just was like really red. I was like, why is it like that? Right there. I don't know how that got like that. Anyway, so we're going to use keep, change, flip. This is how we divide fractions. So we're just going to keep the first one, change division to multiplication, and flip the second one, right? So after we do this, this is going to become, we keep the first one as is, then we're going to say times, and then we flip the second, we're going to get negative 2 by 1, right? Sorry about that. So then to multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. Top with the top, bottom with the bottom. Top times the top, bottom times the bottom. Negative 3 times negative 2, double negative is positive, so that's going to be a positive 6 and a positive 7 on the bottom. So then this will be the final result there. So we got a positive 6 by 7. You see it there. Okay, let's look at this. We have that for multiplication and division of two real numbers. Two like signs become positive. I think one of them is supposed to be division. But yeah. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that be. So let's see, the quotient of a positive number and a negative number. If A and B represent any real number and B is not 0. Oh, so this is basically saying that like the negative, so the negative being in the bottom, or the negative being in the top of a fraction, or the negative being in front of the fraction, these actually all mean the same thing. Okay? These all mean the same thing. So again, we would do keep, change, flip. We keep the first fraction, change division and multiplication, and flip the second fraction. All right. Then we get, sorry, -5/4. Okay. What's a good idea is to go to Pearson. Go to Pearson and be sure to get these assignments. It may look like a lot of work, but once you get into it, it actually goes really, really quickly. Dividing by 0. 0 divided by a non-zero number is going to be 0, but some number divided by 0 is going to be undefined. The way I remember this one, 0 divided by some number, this is okay. This is okay. So this is equal to 0. But some number divided by 0, that's a KO. You want to knock that out. So this is going to be undefined. Okay. That's when I divide either 0 divided by a number or a number divided by 0. That's how I remember those. Okay. And let's see. Indicate whether each quotient is 0 or undefined. All right. I'm gonna leave these as an exercise for you. All right. Because I look at them and I already know the answers. I'm just gonna leave those as exercises. Okay. And so with that note, we're gonna end the session here. Well, I'm going to end my live stream, but I will still be available if you have questions. So I'll just kind of monitor my devices and just reach out to me and get my attention if you have a question. You can send me an email. I think the collaboration should still be open. I also have a Zoom link. There's several ways you can reach me. Okay. Let's go here to the paper. Turn this off. Share, and we're going to send it to Box. That's fine. Okay. And so with that note, we will end it here, and I'm going to go I'm still available. I'm just going to kind of stop streaming. All right. And so from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day.